everyone, and welcome back to my channel. You can still see my Harry Potter stuff in the background from the video I just filmed, but I have to pre-record a bunch of stuff before I go on vacation, so for today's video, I thought I would do a whispered St. Patrick's Day facts video. St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, and I do live in Ireland, so I thought it would be cool for me to learn something about it as well. A lot of you really like these facts videos and have asked for more of them, so I might turn them into like a series and do them once a month. Again, I want to give credit for this to Soft ASMR because that's where I got the idea from. She does whispered facts videos, so be sure to check out her channel if you haven't already. So let's get into it. So the first fact is St. Patrick was not Irish. Ireland's patron saint was in fact from Wales. The shamrock was originally a teaching tool. St. Patrick is said to have used the three-leaved plant to explain the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, to the pagan Irish. This is not necessarily true, but a nice sentiment regardless. If you don't know what a shamrock is, it's a three-leaf clover, and it's like the symbol of Ireland. It's funny that as well because they always say the luck of the Irish, and a lot of people assume that the symbol of Ireland is a four-leaf clover, but it's actually not. It's a three-leaf clover. That's the shamrock. The first St. Patrick's Day parade took place in New York in the 1760s. For many years, blue was the color most often associated with St. Patrick. Green was considered unlucky. St. Patrick's blue was considered symbolic of Ireland for many centuries, and the Irish presidential standard is still blue. I don't know if that's true or not about the Irish presidential standard, but I've always associated Ireland with green. It is called the Emerald Isle as well, so that's just always what I thought about it. For many years, Dripsey in County Cork had the world's shortest parade, just 77 feet, the distance between two pubs, the Way-In and the Lee Valley. Currently, the town of Hot Springs, Arkansas, claims to have the shortest parade, a 98-foot route on Bridge Street. Recent participants included the Irish Elvises and the San Diego Chicken. In 2010, the Sydney Opera House went green to mark the 200th anniversary of St. Patrick's Day there. In Sydney, St. Patrick's Day was first marked in 1810 when Lachlan Macquarie, the governor of New South Wales, provided entertainment for Irish convict workers. In Chicago, every year, the Plumbers Local 110 Union dyes the River Kelly green. The dye lasts for about 5 hours. Traditionally, every year, the Irish leader hands a crystal bowl full of shamrocks to the U.S. president. The shamrock, grown in Kerry, is immediately destroyed by the Secret Service after the exchange. Why even do it then? I know it's symbolic, but seriously. Guinness sales soar on St. Patrick's Day. Recent figures show that 5.5 million pints of the black stuff are downed around the world every day. On St. Patrick's Day, that figure is doubled. Okay, this one kind of contradicts the first parade fact in New York. It says that the world's first recorded St. Patrick's Day parade took place in Boston on March 18th, 1737, followed by the New York parade, which first took place in 1762. Ireland took over a century to jump on the parade float with the rest of the world and only had their first St. Patrick's Day parade in Dublin in 1931. It used to be a dry holiday. For most of the 20th century, St. Patrick's Day was considered a strictly religious holiday in Ireland, which meant that the nation's pubs were closed for business on March 17th. The one exception went to beer vendors at the big national dog show, which was always held on St. Patrick's Day. In 1970, the day was converted to a national holiday and the stout resumed flowing. In Irish lore, St. Patrick gets credit for driving all the snakes out of Ireland. Modern scientists suggest that the job might not have been too hard. According to the fossil record, Ireland has never been home to any snakes. Through the Ice Age, Ireland was too cold to host any reptiles, and the surrounding seas have staved off serpentine invaders ever since. Modern scholars think the snakes St. Patrick drove away were likely metaphorical. The world runs up quite a bar tab. All of the St. Patrick's Day revelry around the globe is great news for brewers. A 2012 estimate pegged the total amount spent on beer for St. Patrick's Day celebrations at £245 million, and that's before tips to the pub's bartenders. There are no female leprechauns. Don't be fooled by any holiday decorations showing lady leprechauns. In traditional Irish folk tales, there are no female leprechauns, only Natalie-attired little guys. But the leprechaun economy is thriving. Another little-known fact from Irish lore, leprechauns earned that gold they're guarding. According to legend, leprechauns spend their days making and mending shoes. It's hard work, so you can't blame them for being territorial about their pots of gold. Apparently, St. Patrick was kidnapped by Irish raiders and taken to Ireland, where he was sold as a slave and forced to work for 6 years herding sheep. At the age of 22, he escaped and fled to England, where he spent the next 12 years at a monastery. And he returned to Ireland in 433, where he's reported to have used the shamrock to preach about the Holy Trinity. Okay, I'm gonna switch to doing some facts about Ireland because honestly, there's not a lot of facts about St. Patrick's Day. I'm kind of disappointed in that. Most websites I find have like the top 10 facts about St. Patrick's Day, and they're all the same. And some have like the top 17 facts, but like 5 of them are about St. Patrick as a person. And then the rest are the same as what everyone else has. So I'm just gonna look up some facts about Ireland and include those. Just kind of a shame, but yeah. Okay. Ireland is known as the Emerald Isle. This is because of its lush greenery and rolling hills. The country receives a lot of rain each year, which keeps the grass green and the plants blooming. Northern Ireland is governed by the United Kingdom, while the rest of Ireland is an independent nation. Ireland is known throughout the world for its vast amount of castles. Ireland's history is dotted with wars and violence, so castles were built to protect families from invaders. Today, most of the castles are still standing, and some can even be visited by tourists. Irish people speak English, but Irish school children are still taught Irish, which is a Gaelic language. Most Irish people believe that fairies exist. In their culture, fairies have magical powers and bring happiness and great things to families. I wouldn't say that most Irish people believe they exist. I've never heard an Irish person actually state that. Any person who is born on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland is considered to be very lucky. Sports are huge in Ireland. Irish people take their sports seriously and get very into soccer, hurling, camogie, and handball. This doesn't even mention rugby. Like rugby and GAA football, which is like the Irish football, are super, super popular here. Probably the most popular sports of all. You know, I'm a big soccer fan. I support Manchester United. And a lot of times, like, the pubs will be flooded at the weekends with English Premier League soccer games, which I call football. But if there's a rugby game on and like the province that I'm in is playing, or just Ireland is playing, you are gonna be hard pressed to find a pub that shows any football because rugby is everywhere. Hurling is also very popular. It's where you have to catch a little ball with a stick and like fling it from player to player. And camogie is the same thing, but for women. I don't know why it's called differently for women, but at least I think that. Irish people roast me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure camogie is the female version of hurling. The average family size in Ireland is 4, 2 kids with 2 adults. I don't think this is true either because Irish people still have very large families. It's why the standard house in Ireland has like 4 bedrooms, because you still have a lot of kids here. My new neighbors have 3 kids. Some of my colleagues from work have 3 kids. And most of my colleagues would have like 3 or 4 siblings. So my generation definitely still had a larger family, maybe the newer ones do, but I still think that a lot of Irish people have like on average 3 kids. Ireland is one of the best countries in the world for gender equality. They have had 2 female presidents. The story of Dracula is said to have been inspired by the Irish legend of Avartak, or Avartak. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's an Irish word. Bram Stoker was Irish born and raised and learned the legend of Avartak when he was young. I'm going to say Avartak because a B and an H together is usually pronounced as a V, so I don't know. Ireland has been inhabited for approximately 7,000 years. A peace agreement between Northern Ireland and Britain was signed in 1998. Ireland gave up control of Northern Ireland to the United Kingdom as part of this agreement. Northern Ireland or Northern Ireland. It says island. I don't know if that's a typo. Because I thought Northern Ireland was part of the United Kingdom for much sooner than 1998, but I don't really know that so well. The country has had a high birth rate for the last 50 years, and because of that, Ireland has one of the youngest populations in the world. See, this kind of contradicts the 2-kid families. I'm pretty sure it's more than that. The Irish famine in the 1840s led to a population decline of 2 million people because of immigration and starvation. Over 80% of Ireland's people are Roman Catholic. The Titanic was built in Belfast, Northern Ireland. The population of Ireland has still not bounced back from the famine it faced years ago. During that time, the population was 8 million. Today, the population lingers below 7 million. Actually, the population is only about 4. Maybe at this point 5 million when the recession hit. In 2008, I believe we were only around 4 million people. To think that it was 8 million in the 1800s, I'm quite shocked by that. I would have thought it was a lot bigger now than it was then, but it's much smaller. Because Ireland is isolated, many species of animals that are commonly found in Europe do not live here. This includes moles, polecats, and weasels. The Royal Cork Yacht Club is the oldest in the world and originally began in Ireland. Well, it does have Cork in the name. Only about 9% of people in Ireland have natural red hair, contrary to popular belief. This is actually true. Like, there is such a common misconception that a lot of people in Ireland are ginger, but I have rarely seen a ginger. You do see them, but rarely. I think that's more a Scottish thing, to be honest. Now, I love gingers. I love people with red hair, so much, but you don't see them that much in Ireland. Ireland is home to what could possibly be the oldest pub in the world. It was opened in 900 AD presented to Oscar winners. The Celtic cross and shamrock are both associated with Ireland, but the national symbol is actually the harp. I knew that because I said earlier it was the shamrock, but I knew it was the harp because on our Euro cents, the harp is on the back. And I actually have a harp necklace because I knew that was the symbol of Ireland. Rotunda Hospital in Dublin opened its doors in 1745. It is the longest running maternity hospital in the world. James Hoban, an Irishman, was the designer of the US White House. A law was enacted in 2009 that makes it illegal to be drunk in public in Ireland. They don't enforce it. Ireland's flag has 3 colors for a reason. The green represents the Gaelic tradition of Ireland. The orange is meant to represent those who followed William of Orange. And the white stripe in the middle represents peace between both. This is interesting as well because after the first few years that I lived here, there was a lot of talk, or at least people told me, that the orange is actually supposed to be gold, but they can't print gold, so they make it orange. And I believe that, but half my colleagues said that, and the other half were like, no, it's orange, and there was this big debate about it. I googled it, and there were also websites that said both. I couldn't, tell you what was true, but since it represents those who followed William of Orange, I'm gonna guess that it is supposed to be orange. I've heard way more people say that it is actually orange and not gold, so just thought I'd throw that in there. In 2007, Ireland saw 40 straight days of rain. I don't know when this was published, but I'm pretty sure we've seen that since. Ireland has mounds of dirt that are known as fairy forts. Legend has it that those who disturb one of these mounds will be riddled with bad luck. These mounds are actually ancient dwellings from the Iron Age. The guillotine was used in Ireland before it was used in France. The earliest use dates back to 1307. Many Irish names begin with Mac, which translates to mean son of. Again, I think that's more a Scottish thing. I don't actually know anyone in Ireland where the last name starts with Mac. A lot of them start with O, like O apostrophe, but Mac. Can't say that I know anyone like that, but I know a lot of Scottish people whose last name starts with Mac, so I think that's more a Scottish thing. Oh, here, some Irish surnames begin with O. This translates to grandson of in Gaelic. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it here. I know this one's a little bit shorter than my other facts videos, but I'm trying my hardest to find more facts about Ireland, but a lot of them, again, repeat themselves. I'm a bit disappointed by that. I was really hoping to make it a good facts video for St. Patrick's Day, but I couldn't find that much, so I'm sorry about that. I'll try to find a topic for the next facts video that I can just find a little bit more information on. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.